Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching House of Ninjas, starring Kento Kaku, uh, Yosuke Eguchi, uh, Ryo Yoshioka, Tai Kimura, and directed by Dave Boyle. Now, ninjas, samurai, and such are quite common when it comes to Japanese folklore and history, and basically an entire series about an undercover family of ninjas in modern day Japan sounds like a really good idea. So naturally, the series from Netflix happens to give us plenty of stealth-based antics, some genuine family drama, and some cool, fast-paced martial arts action with a somewhat predictable mystery plot. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story focuses on the Tawara family, where after the death of their eldest son Gaku, the family has decided to go into hiding in order so the father Shoichi, played by Yaguchi, can protect the rest of his family while he runs a brewery. But the but the second son of the family, Haru, played by Kento Kaku, is pulled back into the ninja business once again when he not only happens to meet with a woman named Karen who's investigating various reports about a dangerous cult, but the family also discovers a plot involving the cult that could impact the new democratic elections going on in Japan, and they discover the cult in question that has 30,000 members, and that they're planning to poison most of the nation during a solar eclipse. But that's all I'll say about the story. The questions as to who's responsible for the cult's burgeoning and what the cult's ultimate goal is they're pretty easy to figure out. But almost everything else about the series works pretty well when it comes to the pacing, the acting, and especially the action. The martial arts sequences are clearly well choreographed, and even though some of them are underlit, especially at the start, they really hit their stride later on in the series, as the whole family feels like they're quite well trained, and the fights hit as hard as you'd expect. Some of the weaker members of the family get to search for objects to help them defeat stronger foes. They get to go through surprise attacks. They get to use a bunch of different things as weapons, including the normal kunai and shuriken that you'd expect from these characters. And the big sword fights usually have a lot of bells and whistles to help them stand out from others in the genre. There's plenty of spokes bombs used, there's some last second rescues, there's plenty of cool music cue drops. It has some very American sensibilities despite it being a Japanese series, in that it still has the same needle drop moments you'd expect from those series, but while keeping the martial arts and the general intrigue of the world that in a way that's quite similar to a good ninja or samurai series just in modern day Tokyo, in modern day Japan. There's also plenty of downtime in the series, but a lot of that is done rather well to set up characters that have, two dimensions for the most part, but most of them are still likable and interesting enough to follow. Though the main plot surrounding Haru and the first son's death of Gaku happens to have some interesting twists and turns that I didn't see coming, even if the overall mystery plot has stuff that you'd see from a mile away. And while the story does end on a cliffhanger, clearly showing that there's more material if the show's going to get a second season, I'm kind of fine with what we have right now. It definitely shows that more international shows would be welcome from Netflix, especially considering that they can have the same quality, if not more quality, than some of the American shows in terms of fight choreography and well done dramatic acting and world building that's more unfamiliar to an American audience. That's why I'm going to give House of Ninjas an 8 out of 10. See you next time.